Hello, Smart Cookies. I am your science mom speaking. Now we can see the third part of the lesson. What's the matter? Things around us vary in color, shape, size, and the way they feel to touch. Such features of a thing are known as properties. All things have properties that help us to identify and describe them. Everything around us commonly exists as a solid, a liquid, or a gas. All the things, whether they are solids, liquids, or a gas, they are made up of matter. Thus, everything around us, the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat, the books we read, the rocks, ice, plants, animals, so whatever it may be, are all made up of matter. So, solids, liquids, and gases are referred to as states of matter. Now, let us compare the solids and liquid. For example, let us take lemon. Lemon is a solid, and when it is squeezed, it gets lemonade. Lemonade is the liquid. So, the lemonade liquid can be poured from one container to the another container, and the lemonade takes the shape of the container in which it is poured. But the solid has a fixed shape, size, and cannot be flowed. It can be only cut or break. Now, let us compare the liquid and the gases. As already we know that liquid can be poured and it flows from higher level to the lower level. It flows downwards or sideways. Gas does not have any shape and spreads easily in all directions. Gas can be filled in a container and takes the shape of the container in which it is filled in. Now, here is an activity in which we can find the changes in the state of matter. Here we have the melting candle activity, in which we already know that the candle is made up of wax and wax is a solid. Here, what happens to the wax if the candle is lit? The wax melts and drips down from the candle because of heat. After some time, what do you think will happen to the wax that dripped from the lit candle? So after some time, the wax that dripped cools down and turns into a solid. Sometimes when things are heated or cooled, their state of matter can change. For example, when a candle is lit, the fire heats up the wax in the candle and causes it to become a liquid. Liquid wax drips down the candle. As it cools, it becomes solid wax again. So this is an example of a change in the state of matter. For example, ice cubes is in the solid form. Water is in the liquid form. When it is heated, it becomes as a gas, so the steam is in the gaseous form. Now let us learn more about how the things changes from one state to another using water as an example. Here, when the ice melts on heating, it turns into the water. When the water is heated, it forms water vapor. Water vapor condenses on cooling to turn back into water. On further cooling, it turns into ice. So, when you cool the water, it becomes solid ice. So the liquid water on freezing, it becomes solid ice. The process by which liquid water becomes solid ice is called as freezing. When the solid ice is heated, it melts into the liquid water. So, the process by which solid ice becomes liquid water is called melting. When the water is heated, it evaporates into steam. So, the process by which liquid water becomes gas is called evaporation. When the steam when the steam comes out by heating the water, when you close it by a lid, you can observe the water droplets on the upper surface of the lid. From this, you can easily understand that the process by which steam becomes liquid water is called condensation. So, solid, when it is heated, it becomes as a liquid, and the liquid, when it is heated, it becomes as a gas, and gas, when it is cooled, it becomes as a liquid again, and the liquid, when it is cooled again, it becomes as a solid ice. So, solid on heating become as a liquid. This process is called as melting, and the liquid again, when it is heated up, it evaporates. This process is called as evaporation. When the evaporated gas is cooled, it becomes as a solid, it becomes as a water. This process is called as condensation, and the liquid again, if it is cooled, it becomes as a solid ice, it is called as freezing. Now here we have an activity. Now read the given scenarios using your understanding of the properties of state of matter to suggest a solution for each scenario. Now two pictures were given. We need to observe the pictures and answer the questions given. In scenario 1, Rohit has been playing with building blocks and has built a house. He needs to put the blocks back into their container. So how do you think he can fit the blocks into the container? Yes, of course. By breaking apart the individual pieces from the houses he has built. After breaking apart, he can put all the things inside the boxes. Now, which property of the solid would be useful to him in the scenario? So, from this we easily understand that solids can be broken or cut. The second scenario is George needs to store a cup of solid ghee in a bottle with a narrow mouth. So, how can he do this activity? Yes, of course. He can heat the ghee to melt it into a liquid and pour it into the bottle. So, which property would be useful to him in this scenario? Yes, you're right. Liquids can flow. Thank you, children. So, from this, we might have understood the properties of solid, liquid, and gases. Thank you.